Good morning, people. Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. And as always, we've got a massive show for you guys today. I hope everyone is feeling all right after the transfer deadline had closed. I hope everyone did get some sleep last night. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's jump straight on into the show. So today, we will, of course, be talking a little bit about Mason Greenwood, who has now left Manchester United. We'll be talking about the Sofyan Amrabat deal, how we think the impact he'll make on the squad, and a few other bits around that. Also talking a bit about Donny van der Beek. What do we think is going to happen with him? What's going to happen with Eric Bailly? As well as just having a bit of an overview, a bit of a discussion about the transfer window as a whole. You know, giving our thoughts on where we're at, what we maybe need in January, and all the rest of it. But as always, do get involved in the comment section. Do let me know your thoughts on everything we discuss. And let's jump straight on into it. So let's start off with the Mason Greenwood one then. So obviously this was one that was literally cutting it right to the very, very edge, wasn't it? It was one that we weren't sure whether it was going to go through. Obviously, the deadline was 11 p.m. last night. And literally on the stroke of 11 p.m, Manchester United did confirm the following. They say that Manchester United's statement on Mason Greenwood is, the move enables Mason Greenwood to begin to rebuild his career away from Manchester United. The club will continue to offer its support to Mason and his family during this period of transition. So just to be clear, it's a season-long loan. He's going to play for Getafe, which is obviously in Spain. And from what I'm reading, Manchester United will cover all of his salary. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it really. There was a video circulating on Twitter yesterday, and there was all the Getafe fans outside I think it was the training facility, and they were all like celebrating, going crazy. So I'm a little bit surprised, mainly just because I thought that he wanted to stay in England, but maybe this was the only option he had. So, you know, Manchester United haven't terminated his contract though, which I think is also interesting. The fact that they're going to pay all of his wages, Manchester United. They're keeping him. He technically is still a Manchester United player. We could have terminated his contract and sent him to Getafe, you know? But they haven't done that. They've kept him, so he is still on the Manchester United books. He'll go over there and he'll go out on loan. Does this mean there's any potential chance that he'll come back again? Potentially. Who knows? Obviously, it's far too early to say at this point, but you never know in football, do you? The fact that they haven't terminated his contract makes me a little bit confused. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section about that one. Do you think that Mason Greenwood will end up coming back to Manchester United one day? Are you also a little bit confused like me as to why, if they don't plan on bringing him back, why have they not just terminated his contract? That's the bit that I don't really understand. I mean, from what their statement says, they're doing what they think is best for the player. And that's, you know, they literally say, the move enables Greenwood to begin to rebuild his career. The club will continue to offer its support to Mason and his family during this period of transition. So it doesn't sound by any means like they're trying to, you know, get rid of him. It sounds like they're trying to support him. So yeah, maybe they have thought about it like that, and they've thought, you know, there's no point terminating his contract. We'll keep paying him. We'll send him out on loan, and then maybe they'll reassess it next season. You never know with Manchester United, do you? Maybe new owners come in, maybe things change. You know, life can change, and things do change sometimes, don't they? So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But yeah, it's a little bit strange, to be honest. Right, obviously Sofyan Amrabat was announced last night. I was asleep by that point, so I do apologise that I wasn't here with you all to celebrate the Sofyan Amrabat moment. But we did do a video about half an hour before the official announcement saying that he'd completed his medical and all the rest of it. So it was kind of obvious by that point that he was going to sign. But yeah, so obviously anybody who was asleep last night like me, Sofyan Amrabat has signed for Manchester United now, which is amazing. It was announced about 11 p.m. last night. Obviously, it is a loan deal, so Manchester United will pay 10 million euros up front to Fiorentina, which is about 8.5 million pounds. And then we have the option to make that deal permanent in June 2024. So if we like what we see, if we think Amrabat fits into the team well, if we think that he's a good addition, in June 2024, we'll have to pay an additional £20 million to Fiorentina in order to make the deal permanent. So I think the total package, if we do keep him beyond next season, is about £30 million, which I think is reasonable. I think it's a good price. Obviously, I just want to see him playing now. Now, there is a story coming out this morning saying that apparently he won't be able to play against Arsenal on Sunday. Now, this hasn't been fully verified, but there's a couple of journalists this morning saying that they don't think he'll be in the squad for the Arsenal game. Sergio Reguilon, Altay Bayindir and Johnny Evans are in the squad for Sunday, and obviously Rasmus Højlund, which is a massive boost. But Apparently, Sofyan Amrabat will not be in the squad for the game against Arsenal on Sunday, which, you know what, is a massive loss. It really, really is, because I think Sofyan Amrabat's the real deal. And I think, like, as I've said to you guys many times on the channel, the reason we needed Sofyan Amrabat was for games like Arsenal away, like Manchester City away. Like, those were the games where we really, really needed him. So it's a bit annoying that he's apparently not going to be available, but it is what it is. We've got a super chat coming in here from Mohan Bagan Arena. Thanks for the contribution. They say Greenwood would cost legal issue, so no termination. Yeah, it probably was the most simple option for all of them, wasn't it, to just loan him out? So it is what it is. He's gone to Getafe. Amrabat has been speaking as well, which is interesting. I wanted to read out a couple of quotes from Sofyan Amrabat, which I think you guys will really, really like. So he said the following. He said, "I am a passionate player. I want to bring that energy to the squad, and I will put everything into action I take for the team." And he also said this, which I really like. He says, "Now I am at the club of my dreams." I mean, can we all just take a minute to appreciate what Sofyan Amrabat did for us? Okay, he rejected Atletico, Saudi Arabian clubs, Liverpool, Barcelona. He rejected so many different clubs in order to come to Manchester United. And him coming out today or last night, whenever this quote came out, saying that, you know, it's the club of his dreams. I'll read out the full quote for you. He says, "It is a huge honour to become a Manchester United player. I've had to be patient for this moment, but I'm someone who always listens to my heart, and now I am representing the club of my dreams. I'm a passionate player. I want to bring that energy to the squad. I know exactly how Erik ten Hag likes to work and what he needs from his players. His coaching guidance developed me so much as a player earlier in my career. I know that he will help to bring out the best of my ability so that I can help the group to be successful this season." And then John Murta, as much as you all dislike him, he's also been speaking as well. John Murta has said, "We have tracked Sofyan for a long time. We are really pleased to bring him to Manchester United. He's committed, high energy approach to the game fits perfectly with the group that we are building here. We know that Sofyan's mentality, dynamism, technical abilities will help the squad as we look to achieve success in all competitions this season." You know what? I said this to you all yesterday, but I genuinely think this is Manchester United's most important signing of the season. I genuinely believe that. I think it's so important. Yeah, so important. I think obviously Onana caused a lot of excitement. People thought that, you know, this is going to completely change the way we play. This is going to make us a lot more fluid, a lot more better at playing out from the back. But I honestly believe that Amrabat is our most important signing of the summer. Now, I know we literally announced it about a minute before the deadline, so we cut it very, very fine. But I'm still very happy with this signing. Obviously, as well, I think the loan element of it I quite like, because say it doesn't work out, say we get new owners and we have a massive budget next summer, then maybe you could go and get somebody else, you know? I think it will work out, but obviously we do have that bit of flexibility there. So maybe this financial fair play stuff that we've been told all summer has actually benefited us slightly at the end of the window, because we've managed to get a couple of deals done for a very small amount of money, which I know everybody thinks favours the Glazers, but if there is some underlying thing going on here and really the Glazers are leaving and they've said, we're not releasing any more funds, we're only going to do loan deals, this is the situation, then, you know, that then works out as a win-win for everybody, doesn't it? But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that one. Victor says, "Good day, please. I want to know, is Harry Maguire still a Manchester United player, and what's the latest about his transfer regarding West Ham?" Harry Maguire's not going anywhere, mate. The transfer window's closed, so yeah, we're stuck with Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire will just stay here until his contract runs out, personally. His contract runs out in 2 years' time. I don't think we're getting rid of Harry Maguire anytime soon. He's 30 years of age. I think he'll just stay here until the end of his contract. Just like Phil Jones did. He'll probably stay on the bench. He'll probably play next to no games. He'll probably play, I reckon, I think he'll start less than 10 games this season, is my guess. And that'll be like in the League Cup. It'll be in the Champions League if we've already qualified. It will be the FA Cup early rounds. It'll be things like that. He'll play in those types of games. Maybe in the Premier League at the end of the season if the season's already, you know, over. I can't see him starting any big games. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is a squad game, isn't it? And Rafael Varane's injured. I said this to you guys yesterday. If Martinez and Lindelof get injured, then we could quite quickly be having Maguire starting matches, which is obviously concerning, but it is what it is, isn't it? There's not really much that we can do about it. Somebody says, will Manchester United win tomorrow? I don't think we'll win tomorrow personally, but you never know in football. I think that tomorrow will be a draw. I mean, if you think last year we lost to Arsenal away, so obviously we always want to win matches, but anything other than a loss is better than last year. And I think we have to take it game by game. So, for example, this time last year, we lost our opening game of the season against Brighton at home. This year, we've won our first. The second game we lost against Brentford last season. this season we lost against Tottenham. So that's kind of the same, right? The third game of the season, we beat Nottingham Forest. The third game last season, we beat, I can't remember, but we won. So do you see what I'm saying? We've got to take each game as it comes, and we've got to better what we did last year. So I think a draw against Arsenal, yes, I know that's not what everybody would aspire for, but I think as long as we draw, I think that's still a good result. Because remember, Arsenal are in the title challenges kind of contention, aren't they? Everybody's saying it's either going to be Manchester City or Arsenal. That's what people are saying. So if we go there and get a draw, I think that's a good result. If we go there and get a win, I think that's an incredible result. If we go and lose, obviously that's disappointing. That's my take on it. I reckon I'm going to go 2-2 for tomorrow's game. 2-2 draw. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. We will be putting the match preview up later on today, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Lumen says, Kieran, how come your positive ideology isn't going for a win tomorrow? There's a difference between being unnecessarily negative, which is not what I do, and being deluded. I'm always going to give you my honest opinion, and my honest opinion is that a draw would be disappointing. A loss would be disappointing. A draw would be okay, it would be good, and a win would be exceptional. That's my expectations for tomorrow. So whether that's realistic or not, yeah, let me know. Nazim says, Kieran, what happened to the money from the player sales? I'm just asking for a friend. We are going to do a video about that later on, so don't worry about that. I am going to do a full comprehensive breakdown of all of the players we sold, all of the people we've brought in, how much money we've spent, and we can then have a full, clear idea of the financial situation, because I think it is important to document stuff like this, because if you don't do it, if fans don't do it, the media certainly aren't going to do it. The media will be saying that we spent £200 million. They'll be including some add-on that if Rasmus Højlund wins the Ballon d'Or next season, we have to pay Fiorentina 10 million or something. You know, they'll be including all of those figures into the amount of money we've supposedly spent already. So yeah, half the time when you listen to those people, it's very filtered, isn't it? What have we got? Right, let's move on to Donny van der Beek quickly though. And if everybody's watching, please quickly smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. That would be really, really appreciated. So please go and do that if you haven't already. Right, Donny van der Beek. Now, he is somebody that I thought would have gone yesterday. I really, really did. Obviously, he didn't go. 11 p.m. last night, Fabrizio came out and said that Donny van der Beek will not move tonight. So the one thing I do want you to remember, though, okay, is the transfer window in Turkey is still open. And apparently the club who are leading the race for Donny van der Beek is Galatasaray. So I don't think it makes a massive difference, really. Obviously, it would have been better if he had gone last night. But you know, he can still move over to Turkey. So, yeah, I'm just having a quick look. So let me just look for you now. So, I mean, yeah, there's still quite a lot of windows open at the moment. So, for example, the Turkish league is open for like another 2 weeks. The Swiss league, I think Turkish is probably the most realistic option. Yeah, so the Turkish league closes in 13 days. Obviously, the Saudi league's still open. That's an option. So I would say that Donny van der Beek will most likely go to Turkey. I would say that Eric Bailly will most likely go to Turkey. And as I said, both of them have 13 days to complete a move to Turkey, which is more than enough time, 2 weeks. So I'm pretty confident that will happen. We've just got to wait and see, really, don't we? It's obviously a little bit annoying because you do wonder whether if we'd have let both of them go, would we have then had a bit more money to buy other people potentially? Who knows? I don't know, probably not, knowing Manchester United. We probably would have still had no money. There's a bit of breaking news coming out now, actually. So Manchester United will face Bayern Munich in their opening Champions League game at the Allianz Arena on the 20th of September. So our first game of the Champions League campaign will be away to Bayern. That is a difficult game, isn't it? Really, really excited about that game. That is a big, big test for Erik ten Hag and his players, having to go away to Bayern for the opening game of the Champions League. 20th of September is the date, everybody. So it's in about 2.5 weeks' time. I think that's on a Tuesday. Let me just double check for you. Yeah, so it's on a Wednesday. It's 2 weeks on Wednesday. We play Bayern Munich away from home. That'll be a massive game. I can't wait for that. I'm going to try and get some tickets for some of these Champions League games. Probably not the away ones, but yeah. Let me know what your score predictions are for that game, everybody. Let me know what you think. We've got all of the dates here, actually, for all of the games. So we play Bayern Munich in the first round, which is on the 20th of September. We then play Galatasaray at home for match day 2. Okay. Match day 3 is we've got Copenhagen at home. So realistically, right, even if we lose against Bayern away, we've got a win against Galatasaray at home and Copenhagen at home. That will put us in a good standing. So that's got to be the goal for that. And then we play Copenhagen away. So, I mean, those 3 games are must win. Bayern Munich, obviously, that's going to be a very, very tough game. That's like a Champions League final type affair, isn't it? Bayern Munich away, that's difficult. Galatasaray at home, I'd expect us to win. Copenhagen at home, I'd expect us to win. Copenhagen away from home, I know Copenhagen have got a really good home record, so as long as we don't lose there, I think that would be enough. And then we play Galatasaray away, and then we play Bayern Munich at home in the last game of the group. Now, you know what's actually quite good with this is Bayern Munich will probably steamroll that group, right? If we play them at home in the last game of the Champions League group stages, if they've already qualified for the next round, which is a possibility, they might play a weakened team, which I think would beat Bayern Munich at home anyway. I genuinely do. I think our A team would beat Bayern Munich's A team at home, just because we have such a good home record. We haven't lost a game at home for 30 matches. So yeah, I think we would beat them. Yeah, so all of the results are out. I'll read them out really, really quickly again for you guys. So Bayern Munich away, Galatasaray at home, then Copenhagen at home, and then Copenhagen away, then Galatasaray away, and then Bayern Munich at home. So let me know how many points you think we're going to get out of our first group games. How many points do you reckon we'll get? Let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, there's a potential of 18 points can be won. How many points will Manchester United get in the Champions League group? Al says Fulham tried to buy McTominay, but he refused to leave. Why? I don't know, mate. I have no idea. Obviously, the Paulinho deal fell through because McTominay refused to go to Fulham, apparently. So I'm not sure. The only thing you can do in those situations is look at the player. You know, if he doesn't want to go, then he doesn't want to go. And Manchester United can't force them. I guess, I don't know. I honestly don't know. He's clearly not going to get much game time at Manchester United. That's my opinion. I don't think that McTominay will be playing week in, week out for Manchester United. You know, he might get 10 minutes here and there. So all you can do is look at the player. All you can do is blame the player. He's clearly not showing any aspiration. He's clearly not showing any motivation to go off and, you know, better his career. But that's up to him. We've paid him a contract. If he wants to stay, then so be it. Somebody says, how much are we getting for Mason Greenwood? So just to be very, very clear on the Mason Greenwood situation, we are paying all of his wages and we're getting nothing. So we're getting 0 from the Mason Greenwood deal. Other than the fact that we're loaning him out. We're making him somebody else's problem, which I know some of you will disagree with, but that's how Manchester United will see it. They're making him Getafe's problem, but we have to pay all of his wages and we don't get any loan fee. So financially, it makes 0 sense. But if you thought about this, either Mason Greenwood stays at Manchester United and doesn't play, and we still have to pay him, or he goes and plays in Getafe and we still have to pay him. So when you look at it like that, it's obviously better that he goes and plays there than just doesn't play any games. So yeah, obviously let's see what happens with that one. Somebody says about the plants. Yes, you are correct. Thank you for saving my plants. They do look like they need a bit of water. Right, let's move on with the rest of the show, though. Do keep letting me know how you're feeling about those group stage games. And we are going to talk a little bit about Alvaro Fernandez really, really quickly. So this is another player that I know quite a lot of you like. I know a lot of you really, really wanted him to stay at the club. I know some of you didn't want Cucurella. Some of you didn't want Reguilon. Alvaro Fernandez has apparently just left on loan. He's gone over to La Liga as well. He will be playing for Granada for 1 season. There's no buy option, so he's just going to go for the season and then he'll come back. So I wish him all the best. I hope he goes there and has a good loan spell. We'll have to wait and see whether he comes back and whether he actually ever breaks into the team. Charlie McNeil, another promising young player, has also left the club. He has just signed for Stevenage on loan. So quite a few of the promising youth people have been loaned out, which I think makes sense, but yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Let's read out a couple of your comments really, really quickly. Somebody says, I don't think we'll qualify for the next round. United looking shockingly bad so far. I think we will. I think we'll get second in the group in the Champions League. I think Bayern will win it. I think we'll get second. I think Galatasaray will get third. And I think Copenhagen will get fourth. It's still a difficult group. Obviously, Copenhagen are really good at home. Bayern Munich's Bayern Munich. And Galatasaray are really good at home. I'm pretty confident that we can beat all three of those teams at home. Even Bayern Munich's A team, I reckon we could beat at home. It's just our away form that worries me. But I think Bayern Munich will steamroll that group. They'll beat probably everybody at home, and we'll probably beat Galatasaray and Copenhagen away. So as long as we win all of our home games, I'm pretty confident that we'll qualify. But let me know, are you worried? Do you think we'll qualify for the next round of the group stage? To the last 16, sorry. I do think we will. Mila says, is there any update on Malacia? Apparently Malacia is out for an extended period. Apparently it's going to be about the same amount of time as what Luke Shaw was injured for. So it's going to be probably October, November for Malacia, which is very, very frustrating. And that's why we signed this left back. That's why we brought him in, because Malacia and Luke Shaw are both going to be out for around 3 months, apparently. So, yeah, it's not great. But the really, really important thing to remember about this loan deal for Sergio Reguilon is that it's only till January. Manchester United have the option to break the contract in January and send him back to Tottenham. So, if Luke Shaw and Malacia are back fit by Christmas, we can just send him back to Tottenham. So it's win-win, really. I have no issue with it anymore whatsoever. Whereas the thing you had to remember with the Cucurella deal is that Chelsea weren't happy for that clause to be included in the contract. They wanted it to be a 12-month deal, no break clause, and they wanted around £16 million total package, which is absolutely crazy. So we've definitely done the right decision here, from what I can see. But we'll have to wait and see how he performs. Do you think he'll start against Arsenal on Sunday? Let me know your thoughts. Will Reguilon start against Arsenal? I think it will be Diogo Dalot again, but you know what? Maybe it should be Reguilon. Like, I don't think Dalot looks that great at left back. I like him at right back, but I'm a little bit unsure about Diogo Dalot as the left back. Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. And if everybody who's watching could smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We got nearly 1,000 people watching, which is amazing. Big ups to every single one of you. Lumen says, Kieran, will your interest in Getafe start now? Not really, mate, to be honest. I don't really watch any Spanish football. I mainly just watch the Premier League, Champions League, a bit of the Championship, a bit of the Bundesliga sometimes, but I'm not really interested in Spanish football, to be honest. Like, I was obviously like years ago when you had the Messis, the Ronaldos and stuff, but I feel like La Liga's just kind of dropped a little bit. Yeah, I'm not really as interested. You know, obviously Bellingham's gone there. Obviously there are some good players. I'm not saying it's a rubbish league, but you know what I mean. Generally, I don't spend much time watching Spanish football. Al says, what league is Getafe? I think they're in La Liga. Yeah, they're in La Liga. Getafe's in La Liga. And so is Granada, I believe, unless they got relegated. Yeah, both Granada and Getafe are in La Liga. So it's a good move for both of them, especially for Alvaro Fernandez. That's a really, really good move. Let's read out a couple of your comments quickly. Mila says, who will you start against Brighton, Reguilon or Dalot? I'd probably give Reguilon a go against Brighton, I reckon. He'll be fully 100% match fit and 100% implemented into the squad then. Like, you don't bring in a left back on loan and pay all of his wages to then play a right back in his position. Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. So yeah, I would play him as much as possible because that's what we brought him in for. There's no point in bringing him in and then sitting him on the bench. So yeah, for me, I'd give Reguilon a chance against Brighton. Maybe it's too early for him to play against Arsenal. I'm not sure. If he's 100% match fit, maybe Erik ten Hag starts him, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a free hit, isn't it, with the left back position, because both Diogo Dalot and Reguilon are kind of new to that position at Manchester United. Dalot's played it a couple of times. Obviously, Reguilon is a left back, so he's more experienced in that role. But yeah, at this stage, I don't really know. Somebody says, what number is Højlund? We believe Højlund is going to be the number 11 shirt. This hasn't been confirmed yet, but from what I'm hearing, he is going to be the number 11. Obviously, we will find out on Sunday, tomorrow. We're about 24 hours away from the Arsenal game, which I'm absolutely buzzing for. Somebody says, do you think Rasmus Højlund will start? I think he will, yeah. I think Rasmus Højlund will start the game tomorrow. Erik ten Hag said in his press conference yesterday that he's now fully fit. He's been training with the team all week, doing proper training on the grass, and he is available to start. That was his exact words, that he is available to start. So I do think he should start. I would see no reason in sticking him on the bench. We need a striker. We've got the highest XG in the Premier League, guys. Remember that. Our XG is about 7.5 goals. Yeah, we've only scored 4 goals. So we need someone on that pitch who's going to finish those chances. There were so many chances against Tottenham where we should have scored a couple of easy goals. Bruno missed one, didn't he? I think Casemiro missed one. Like, if you have somebody like Rasmus Højlund there, you would expect him to score every one of those chances. So for me, he 100% has to start. But let's wait and see what happens. Loomis says, Kieran, would it be wise to have Reguilon in the squad against Arsenal at Emirates since he is coming from Spurs? I don't know, mate, to be honest. I think all of that rivalry stuff, I don't think it will make a massive difference. Like, it's not like it's Harry Kane or someone like that, is it? It does. When you think of Tottenham, do you really think of Reguilon? Like, I don't think he's played for them for like 2 years. He went off on loan to Atletico Madrid last season. Obviously, yes, he is a Tottenham player, but it's not like you're bringing out Harry Kane for his debut against Arsenal away from home. Like, obviously, that's going to rile up the crowd, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, he's been there since 2022. Sorry, he's been there since 2020 and then went on loan to Atletico Madrid. He came back to Tottenham and then went back on loan to Atletico Madrid again. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't overthink it about the whole rivalry thing. Comeback King says, will we still be able to make signings in January? Mate, to be honest, signings in January all depends on the new owners. If we get new owners, yes. If we don't, then I would say probably no, unless players leave in January. I think if we still have the Glazers at the club, it will be we have to sell to buy in January. If we have new owners, remember I've said this to you many times before, if the new owners come in, they'll clear all the debt, which will allow us to have about £50 million more in the bank in order to go and spend on players because of the debt repayments and because of all the rest of it. So if we get announced, right, that Qatar are taking over next week, we will 100% have around £50 million to spend in January, net spend. So that's not including outgoings. So you'd have 50 million plus whatever outgoings you could do. So if you maybe sold Donny van der Beek, if you sold Harry Maguire, if you sold Scott McTominay, like you could easily raise another £50 million there from sales. So yeah, in short, new owners, yes. Same owners, probably not. But that's just what we have to see. Loomis says, Kieran, will you be doing the watch along tomorrow? Yes, I'm doing a watch along tomorrow for the Arsenal game. So anybody who is around, I'll be live from about 4 p.m. UK time. Chai says, is Tony injured? Do you mean Tony Martial or do you mean Ivan Toney? Let me know. If you're talking about Ivan Toney, he's been banned from playing football for gambling charges. Anthony Martial, I believe, is fully fit and available to play unless he's got injured again. But my understanding is that Anthony Martial is fit and will be available for the game against Arsenal tomorrow. Right, let's read out a couple more of your questions before we wrap up the video. We've got about 5 minutes left of the video. Just to say as well, guys, going forward, a lot of the morning streams and the evening streams will be quite community driven. So I will be answering lots of questions. Obviously, whilst the transfer window was going on, there was so much stuff to get through that it was quite difficult to read out all of your questions. Obviously, I'm still not going to be able to read out all of them, but I'll try and read out some, and we will make it a bit more of a back and forth conversation between like myself and you. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Obviously, there will be other stuff to talk about as well, but you know what it's like in the transfer window. It's just news after news after news after news, and most of the shows were just dominated by obviously gossip and all the rest of it. Al says, would you take Ivan Toney or is his criminal charges an issue? Yeah, I probably would take Ivan Toney at Manchester United. I think he's a quality player. I do. I think he's a good player. The amount of money that Brentford were asking for, though, I think it was around 80 million. I wouldn't go anywhere near him for 80 million. If it was around 40 to 50, maybe. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, would you take Ivan Toney at Manchester United in January? Obviously, he's banned until January because of gambling charges. But he will be available to play again from January 2024. Irving says, do you fancy our chances of top four? I think we can get top four, but I think it's going to be a battle. I don't think it's going to be easy. That's my goal for the season. Apparently, 5th place gets you Champions League football as well. So it's really top 5 is the goal. I don't think we're going to get... we're not going to win the league. Like, I'd be literally shocked if we won the league. I think top 5 is a realistic goal. If we get that, I'll be happy. If we get anything better than that, I'll be ecstatic. I think even if we got like 6th or 7th, I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't be saying sack the manager, you know? Because when you look at how the other teams have improved, when you look at you look at Brighton, you look at Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, even Tottenham, like all of the teams around us, Aston Villa, they've all improved massively. So it's going to be really, really difficult this season. So I think top 5 is realistic. I would be happy with that. Lumen says, Kieran, won't you change the subscription target from 250 to 100k for that shirt giveaway? Maybe. I'll have a think about it, mate. Possibly, yeah. Not sure. It's the first time someone's mentioned it, but yeah, potentially. Mita says Tony in January or Osman next summer. 100% Osman next summer, mate. 100%. 100%. Yeah, it has to be Osman next summer. But that obviously depends on new owners. We need new owners for that. They're not going to be able to buy Osman with our current owners. No way. Impossible. What else we got? No one says, should Amrabat get the number 4 shirt? I'm just trying to think what shirt number he would get, because he has a different shirt number for Morocco, a different one for Fiorentina. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what shirt number he'll get. I mean, number 4 was Phil Jones, right? What's Rafael Varane? Is he number 5? Or was he? No, Varane's number 4, isn't he? Let me just check. Yeah, Varane's number 5. So is the number 4 shirt not occupied? So sorry, Varane's number 19. Who's number 4 then? Is there a number 4 at the moment? If not, yeah, it should be Amrabat, I think. We'll have to wait and see though, won't we? Right, I'm going to wrap the show up here, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who has watched the show this morning. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel on your way out, and I'll speak to you all later.